Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the West Coast Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Richard Frias Guzman. And on today's episode, it is episode 139. I will be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, of course, as today is game number 5, going up against the Grizzlies. A possible opportunity for them to go and close out the game, so we'll talk all about that. Then we're one day away, as a matter of fact, from the draft, so I won't be recording a podcast tomorrow, but I will be taking some time in this podcast here, so that way I can actually, so that way I can actually talk a little bit about the draft. That way we can talk a little bit about maybe some potential, some opportunities, or maybe some players that the Raiders should be coming away with. Maybe some players that I think that they should be coming away with. Maybe not even getting into specifics as far as the actual player, but more like the type of players that we should be looking for. There has been a lot of talks just about maybe potential moves that the Raiders could be making, maybe a way where they can actually come away with a couple more picks in the earlier rounds, maybe packaging up some of those later rounds and moving up a little bit in the draft. So with that being said, I do just want to go ahead and just get right into the podcast for you guys. But just before I do so, I do just want to take a quick minute to let you know that you can follow me on Instagram and you can follow me on Twitter. It is going to be West Coast Pod 702 in order to go ahead and follow me there. I also have a Facebook and an email account, and it's just going to be the name of the podcast, West Coast Sports Podcast. And then for the email, of course, westcoastsportspodcast@gmail.com. Definitely go ahead and follow me on any of those. Send me any kind of a message if you like to go and talk about sports, maybe one of the teams, anything in general, even if it is just to say hi. I would love to go and talk to anybody who listens. And if you have been, thank you very much for all your support. And make sure you pass it on to somebody else, a friend, a family member, coworker, and so on and so forth. So with that, let's go right into the podcast, guys. So let's go ahead and start off by talking with the Raiders. As it is Wednesday, April 26th. We're one day away from the draft with tomorrow. So the draft tomorrow, I am thinking that the Raiders have a really big opportunity to go in and do a lot of good in this draft. I have a whole lot of confidence, in my opinion, in Dave Ziegler, Camp Shelley, Josh McDaniels to an extent, in making these decisions. I really do think that they're going to be able to come away with multiple players that are going to be able to go and contribute to this team. And with having 12 picks, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't be able to. I don't really think it's going to be a whole total of 12 players that we're going to be drafting in this year's draft. But hey, with that many draft picks, you should definitely go and come away with quite a few difference makers, or quite a few players that can contribute right away. Now, with us having quite a bit of few different late round picks, I am thinking that it's going to be possible for them to go in and take a couple of those picks, maybe move up a little bit in the draft and get a couple more early rounders. If anything, I am thinking that it's a possibility that the Raiders are going to be definitely open to a trade. Say there's a couple teams that are trying to go in and get closer and closer to the top 10 or something like that in the draft. I'm pretty sure the Raiders will accept. You have to, right? in my opinion, if you're a GM and if you're not even taking calls for people that possibly want to move up, then you're doing yourself a disjustice right there from the get-go. So you definitely have to going to be taking these calls. You have to see at least what other teams are going to be willing to offer. But I really don't think that nothing's going to be finalized probably until draft night. So it is just definitely going to be a big night in order to go and keep an eye on for the Raiders and for all Raider fans. But in my opinion, really, if we come away with around 8 to 10 players that we draft in this year's draft, and if we can see possibly at least half of those, if not even more, actually contribute right from the get-go, being able to go ahead and help out, and we can see these guys being long-term players, similar to like Josh Jacobs, to Max Crosby, to Nate Hobbs, these guys that we ended up drafting. But if we can get some success with some of the ones that we drafted in the earlier rounds, Josh Jacobs, unfortunately, is one of the only first-round picks that we have in, the past 3-4 years that stuck around. It's kind of crazy to think about. There was Clee Farrell, there was Jonathan Abrams, Damon Arnett, and of course Henry Ruggs. All those players, unfortunately, are no longer on the Raiders for multiple reasons, all kinds of reasons. Some of them some of them just not even in the on the team. Some of them just not even in the league altogether for other reasons, of course. Now, the thing is, in my opinion, honestly, guys, if the Raiders are able to go ahead and get, mainly, in my opinion, I'm really looking for this team to just build on defense. A lot of people are saying, oh, you need to go and get a quarterback for the future, and I really do think that eventually they're going to draft a quarterback. I'm just having a hard time thinking that it's going to be in the first round. Now, if somebody falls to them, say like it is an Anthony Richardson, say it is a CJ Stroud, for whatever reason, I doubt that he's going to fall that far down. I think we have more of a chance of, well, maybe not. I think there's a slight chance of one of those two, either Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud, to possibly fall to us at 7, but I highly doubt it, honestly. The main reason is because everybody already kind of knows that number 1 is going to be Bryce Young, and from there's some talks that maybe Will Levis has now risen up and actually taken over that number 2 spot from being drafted as the second quarterback off the board. So if that is the case, I mean, whoever wants to draft them, I think that's whatever, go for it. In my opinion, maybe that'll work out, but I have a hard time believing that Will Levis is going to definitely be a star or a great quarterback in the NFL. But maybe that's just me. Now, that's just, to me, I guess he kind of gives me too many, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield kind of vibes, and if his future is as big as Baker Mayfield at this point, then cool. Again, Baker Mayfield, though, hasn't really had a whole lot of seasons under his belt, so maybe he still has a whole lot of potential there. But in my opinion, Will Levis will probably be as good as those two players, if that. But we'll see. Definitely, whatever team again wants to go and draft them, definitely up to them, of course. But if there's a quarterback that potentially falls to us at number 7, I would say the only 2 players that I would definitely take a swing at number 7 would be a CJ Stroud or a Anthony Richardson. Otherwise, I would rather wait, maybe see if a Hendon Hooker is there in the later first round or maybe in the second round, whatever the case is. Again, some people might want to take quarterbacks in the first round just for that reason. A lot of people might want to take other guys like I don't know, even what's his name, Witherspoon. He's up there with Christian Gonzalez as being some of the top-rated cornerbacks or top-rated DBs in this draft, which is a definitely heavy cornerback draft. There's a lot of cornerbacks, a lot of tight ends from the looks of it. There's quite a bit of defensive tackles, defensive ends, but there are some of them who are just a whole notch above the rest of the pack, if you would. So there, in each of those positions, there's definitely a lot of players that you can draft, but there's only a couple that you would definitely want to take a swing at in the first and second round. So, in my opinion, though, just as far as like what kind of players, what positions definitely should be taken by the Raiders, I really just think it should be mainly on defense. If you get one quarterback in there, whether if it is again a player that falls to you at 7, that an Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud, then after that, just pure defense. Your offense is definitely well enough in order to want to continue, in order to compete. Maybe you want to get a tight end or something like that, since you ended up trading away Darren Waller. Other than that, as far as the offense, I mean, unless if it's an offensive lineman or a tight end, that's pretty much about it. What I would look at. Otherwise, pretty much go all defense. I'm really hoping that we come away with either 1 or 2 for sure starters. Somebody similar to like a Max Crosby or like a Nate Hobbs. And I know that that's a big big pedestal to put them on, but if they can contribute, if they could just be day one contributors like that on the defensive side, I think we really got something. So if that's possible, I definitely hope that they're able to. Again, I have a whole lot of confidence. I know a lot of people are really not that high on this front office, being that they're majority all Patriot guys and everything, this and that. But in my opinion, honestly, if these guys could just get the job done, I really don't care what organization they used to come from or anything. If they can draft players for the Raiders because they're Raiders now, that's all I care about. So we'll see what happens with this draft. I am definitely excited. I'll be glued to the TV, much like I believe a lot of you will. Once the draft is all said and done, after each round, definitely on Friday, I'll talk to you guys from there. We'll talk about how the first couple rounds went, how the Raiders came away, or how the Raiders look after coming away with those players that they draft, and just kind of go from there. But with that being said, I did just want to go and just transition on over to the Lakers to go ahead and talk about this game number 5 coming up tonight. But just before I do so, I do want to take a quick minute just to remind you about 2 pages or 2 places where you can go and visit. So the first one, it is Rosie's Designs EST 2022 on Instagram. If you haven't done so, definitely drop a follow because you'll definitely love what's on there. My wife makes these incredible chip bags that you can go ahead and have for any kind of occasion, party, whatever the case is. Any kind of celebration, event, even if it is something for work or like a nice gift that you want to give to somebody, something like that. Definitely a great gift to go ahead and give. She's able to go and make these chip bags, customized designs with any kind of colors, characters, whatever the case is, patterns, designs, whatever you want to do. You'll definitely be surprised as far as what she can make with these things. Plus, she puts all kinds of cool little designs, cool little details with them as well. So definitely have to go ahead and look at them. If you have something going on, something coming up, definitely go ahead and drop a follow and send her a DM. Let her know what kind of designs you would want, what kind of colors you would want, or what the celebration is. She can either throw out a couple of ideas to you, or if you already have an idea of what you would want, just go ahead and send it over to her and she'll go ahead and go from there. If you mention that you maybe heard about me or heard about her on my podcast, maybe we can throw in a couple extra there for you on your order. So definitely just go ahead and drop a follow if you haven't done so. It is Rosie's Designs EST 2022. I'll make sure to go ahead and tag her on my Instagram post and as well any other post that I put on social media. So again, just go ahead and repeat. It is Rosie's Designs EST 2022. Thanks again, and make sure you drop a follow. So the other place I did want to take a quick second to let you guys know to visit. It's Pro Dough Shop. If you guys haven't heard about it, it is a sponsor of this episode. They are a company that makes their own kind of specialized protein powder. They have this thing patented where they include it in all kinds of desserts, pastries, and everything that they make, making it super high in protein, but really low in sugar and carbs and all that good stuff, or all that bad stuff that you don't want. But all the good protein and everything and all that, definitely in there. It's really high in protein, and it tastes great as well. So it's a great tasting dessert, treat, or pastry that you would want, but it's not going to go ahead and make you feel bad after you eat it, because it is healthy for you. So if you haven't checked them out, definitely go to do so. It is Pro Dough Shop, PRODOUGHSHOP. Make sure you go ahead and use my promo code. It is WestPod702. Again, WestPod702, and you'll get that 10% off on your order. So with that being said, let's go right into the next segment where I want to talk about the Lakers. So with that, the Lakers are underway tonight against the Grizzlies for game number 5. Big game coming up. It's definitely going to be it's going to be a nail biter in my opinion. It is at 4:30. So they are playing over in Memphis, so it is definitely a game that's going to be played a little bit earlier. Of course, I'm pretty much going to be on my way home straight after work, just so I can go and check it out and make sure that I don't miss it. I really think that it's going to be of course, it's an opportunity to go and clinch and to go and move on forward over to the next round. But in my opinion, it is a great way to close it out and to go in and build some momentum for these guys to really make themselves feel good about this, and to really go ahead and keep them focused for the next opponent. And as well, it's going to go in and give some time for LeBron and for these guys to rest up, because I am thinking that some of them are a little bit beat up. But we'll hopefully this series with the Warriors and the Kings continues on, goes all the way to Game 7, and that way we get some time to go. That way the Lakers get some time to go ahead and rest. So it is gonna be, in my opinion, the Grizzlies are going to go all out. It's going to be a tough one. I mean, they've been going all out. Not that they haven't, really been giving their full effort in these past couple games, but I really do think in this one, of course, to go in and avoid elimination, they're going to go super hard, and as they should, of course. You want to go and make sure that this team is going to go ahead and be firing on all cylinders. And at the end of it, even as Laker fans, we should definitely feel good once they do close it out, because being able to close out a team of this magnitude, being that they're the second seed, being that they're a team that a lot of people kind of looked at them as possible favorites to maybe be able to come out of the West, definitely a big deal. We'll definitely have to see, of course, how the next series goes on. But in my opinion, I think it should be a cakewalk. I feel like that should be even a series that we could possibly even, sweep them, whatever, even if it is the Kings or the Warriors. Now, I don't want to look too far ahead or anything like that, but I definitely am just excited, for the opportunity or for the chance for the Lakers to be able to close out the game tonight and being able to just rest up and wait for whoever is next. But definitely have to go and get past this game. I definitely think it needs to be something similar to, as we've seen, if they can stay just focused on the defensive side, making sure that nobody's getting off. If it is Ja's gonna go ahead and is gonna get his no matter what. But as long as you keep focused on some of the other players, making sure that you're not giving up easy buckets, then I think you're in business. I think you're on your way in order to go and close out the game. If the Lakers are able to go in and just kind of stay focused on the offensive end, just making sure that they're getting good shots, making sure that they're staying focused in the paint and driving and just attacking the basket, especially if the shots are not falling. But if the shots are falling, then the Grizzlies are in for a tough night, a rough night. It's it really just always, sometimes it really comes down to that most with the Lakers at times. If they're able to knock down their shots, because they're going to attack the paint no matter what. That's what this team does. But if they're able to get their shots up and they're able to knock them down, whatever team they're up against is in trouble. Because I can definitely guarantee, especially in the playoffs, the Lakers are going to bring that defensive intensity. They're going to be focused, especially in that last game. If you could just, I don't know. You could just really tell that this team is just on another level of focus, compared to the regular season, and just being able to see all the different, adjustments that we're able to go to make on the especially now on the fly. During the game, if you're able to make adjustments like that to go ahead and better the team and give them a better chance of winning, at that point you checked all the boxes. You have the focus on defense, you have the game plan on the offense. When it's really just attack the basket and see if you knock down your shots. If you knock down your shots, you're in the other team's in trouble. And at that point, if you're making in-game adjustments to make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance, you check all the boxes in order to go ahead and set yourself up for success. Now, it is just going to come down to them just being able to execute everything. And again, being that it's a team that's led by LeBron, and if you guys didn't see or didn't hear his walk-off interview in the last game, I believe it was Chris Haynes who ended up asking him, just how is it that he's able to go in and keep these guys, on a level-headed, especially after that game 2 where they ended up losing, saying that they wanted to go in and come away with both victories over there in Memphis, that their heads were down, that they were a little bit upset, with themselves, making it seem like they let LeBron down, and LeBron kind of just mentioning to them that, it's a big opportunity that for them just to go ahead and stay even killed, just to go ahead and stay focused on the moment, and to let LeBron just kind of worry about all the other stuff, making sure that the offense is going good and all that, just for them to have fun and just to go and enjoy the moment. And even after you hear how Austin Reeves was talking about after that game, him being the leading scorer for that game with 23 points, that it was one of the happiest moments of his life as a basketball player in the NBA. And you see that LeBron is definitely encouraging it and happy with him. It's kind of poetic, I guess, in a way, if you want to look at it. Just having LeBron being such a big time veteran, having so much enjoyment over somebody else's success. And it is one of the things that I enjoy a lot about when other people can do that, can not only have enjoyment in their moments, but have enjoyment in other people's moments and success, it is really truly a nice, beautiful thing, isn't it? But again, it is one of the main things I love about sports and just life in general. If you're able to pass on your wisdom, your knowledge over to somebody else to help them out, to make life easier for them, not only just your family and everything, but other people that you care about, it is truly a great thing. But hopefully they can continue that on into this game and moving forward, because I definitely think it could be one of those special years, guys. But we'll have to see. Today's game number 5. Have to get through game number 5 first. Have to go through the Grizzlies and then go on from there. So let me know what you guys think. But I definitely do think game 5, we're gonna wrap it up and just be waiting for the Kings or the Warriors. So let me know what you guys think. Send me a DM. Let me know if you guys think that I'm just coming up with stuff out of my butt, or just whether if I really got some facts here. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I'll maybe talk to you guys tomorrow. If not, then definitely on Friday. But I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Say to your loved ones that you love them. But I'll see you on the next one. Peace.